In this video, we're going to talk all about how to drill clean, precision holes in carbon fiber and other composite laminates. But before we dive into the techniques that we want to learn, first let's talk a little bit about different kinds of drill bits and different materials, because that does matter quite a lot. These are the drill bits that you're probably accustomed to seeing. They're called jobber drill bits. My last job, we always just called them twist bits because they have kind of a spiral twist. These are the ones that are the most common drill bits that you're going to see in hardware stores and other places. They're excellent for drilling through wood. They work great for metals, for steel, for aluminum. For carbon fiber, they work. However, they are not probably the ideal choice. That's not to say you can't make a good hole with a jobber bit. You absolutely can. However, if you want the most precision, the best, the tightest holes, usually you want something that's a little bit higher end than these jobber bits, which is where we pull into these ones over here. These drill bits here are what are called tapered drill reamers. Now, reamers are used often in metals as well. Reamers are used for making very fine, precise holes in metals. But typically what you do is you use a jobber drill bit or something else to bring that hole almost up to the final diameter, and then at the very end you'll use a reamer to finish the hole off. They're usually a straight reamer. They're not tapered like these ones. And you use it to finish the hole and you get a very nice, clean, precision hole. Well, these ones are tapered reamers, and what that means is that you can start without having to drill all the way up, with other drill sizes and then just finish the hole. Still often a good idea if you want the best quality holes, if you want the most highly precision holes. However, you don't necessarily need to do that with a tapered drill reamer. It's designed for drilling and reaming. Now, the last type of drill bit that I want to talk to you about is this one right here, which is called a spade bit. Now, spade bits, I don't know if they were invented for composites, but they are really, really useful for composites because they tend to have less breakout at the back of the hole than other types of drill bits do. The tapered reamers are pretty good for that. These are the best for that, if you want to avoid breakout at the back of the hole. And so, while it's true that you can absolutely drill holes in carbon fiber with these ones, if you're looking for precision holes, you want to go to a tapered reamer or a spade bit, ideally, to get the best hole quality. Now let's talk a little about drill bit material, because the material matters quite a lot. One of the things that's different about carbon fiber versus drilling in wood or aluminum is that carbon fiber is highly abrasive. And so if you use a traditional metal for your drill bit, then it tends to wear away very quickly. If you use a high-speed steel, which is what these drill bits are, they're made of high-speed steel. If you use a high-speed steel, then it will wear away very quickly, it will get dull very quickly, and then you're not drilling holes very well anymore. I have gotten a brand new high-speed drill bit before, drilled maybe 2 holes, and then it was too dull to even use anymore in carbon fiber, because carbon fiber is that abrasive and that tough on drill bits. And so if you've only got 1 or 2 holes to drill, this is not a bad option. However, just expect you're going to go through drill bits quickly if you try to do more holes than that. Now, one of the things that manufacturers will sometimes do is they'll put coatings on the high-speed steel drill bit to try and make it last a little bit longer. A great example of that is this one right here. This one has a titanium nitride coating on it. That's that gold coating on it. That's a very hard coating on the outside of it that's supposed to make it last a little bit longer. You'll see other coatings like this one, which has a black oxide coating on it. That's not to make it last longer. That's just to prevent rust and corrosion on the drill bit. However, if you want the most life out of your tool, the most life out of your drill bit, you really have no better option than to go with a solid carbide drill bit. Carbide is an extremely hard material. In fact, they often make rings out of it because it's very, very durable. It's a wonderful material for making drill bits out of because it lasts a very long time, even when you're drilling in materials like carbon fiber. Now, they do make jobber drill bits in carbide, so there's no reason you can't buy those. However, if you're going to spend the money on a carbide bit for drilling in composites, I personally would choose to go with one of these ones. These bits right here are solid carbide, as well as my spade bit here. I chose solid carbide because I wanted them to last. These are specifically for drilling in carbon fiber, and they probably won't be used for anything else. But they are not cheap. These drill bits will cost you about $30 to $40 a piece. I'll throw a link down in the description for where I order mine from, and you can get yours there as well. I have not found a better price anywhere else, and they do sell to the consumer market. They don't sell just to businesses like some manufacturers do. Now, the other tool that you're going to want to have for making very fine precision holes is you want drill bushings and some kind of a drill guide to put those bushings in. Now, the purpose of the drill bushing is to provide a guide so that you have a slop-free hole to keep your drill bit exactly where you want it to be as it's drilling your hole. You'll clamp this to the surface of your part and you'll go ahead and drill it. I'll show you now how that works. All right, I'm going to take my workpiece. In this case, it's this carbon fiber plate. Cut one note. It's usually easier, not impossible, to drill on this side, but if you notice, this is the bag side. It's kind of bumpy. I don't know if you can see that in the light. This is the bag side of the part where you can see the texture and feel the texture of the weave. It's harder to drill a hole from this side just because the drill bit will want to grab those little troughs between the weave and it'll want to wander. So usually it's better to drill from the tool side of the part. Although it's not necessarily always the case. You can get away with it if you've got a good drill guide. The other thing you're going to want is some kind of a backing material. This is just some 3/4 inch MDF. I'm going to use this as a backing material for drilling my hole. Now the purpose for this backing material is to help prevent breakout on the back side of the hole. This is what happens if you don't have the material supported or if you're pressing too hard as you're drilling through the part. Take my drill guide. I'm going to put a CAD file for this in the Patreon page, so for anybody who wants a copy of this. But all this is just a steel bar with 5/16 holes drilled in it for the bushings that I've picked out. You want a fairly tight hole. You don't want a super sloppy hole because that means you'll have more slop and you won't get quite as clean of a hole in your part. That is where what's guiding the drill bit into your part. Clamp this to my workbench. Now I'm not going to start with my dagger bit because I found out after I purchased my drill bushings that my dagger bit's not actually an 1/8 inch like I thought it was. And I didn't have time to go buy more materials for this video, so we're going to start with a 3/16. Now one last thing that I want to mention that I didn't before, as you're drilling you want to keep a cup of water handy. Not for drinking, this is for dipping your drill bit in. You want to keep things cool, you want to keep some water in there to act as a lubricant so that it's not heating up quite too much. So I'm just going to take my Carbide reamer, give it a quick spin in the water, and slide it in my hole, and we'll start drilling. Now to prevent that, they also make these. It's just a little thumb screw. You can drill a hole somewhere in here, drop that thumb screw in there, and it'll lock the bushing down so it can't slide. All right, I'm going to dip it in the water real quick and we'll go back to drilling. Come out frequently to dip it in the water to keep things cool and lubricated. And now if we were to keep stepping up the holes, if we wanted to go to a larger hole diameter, then oftentimes it's good to take steps all the way up as you get there. I like to start with an 1/8 inch hole and then I'll work my way up to a 3/16 and then next will be a 1/4 inch, taking steps all the way up. And then your final hole size, you want to take as small of a bite out of it as possible if you want the cleanest, tightest, most precise hole. Last thing I want to do is just test fit some hardware in it. So I just got an AN bolt here. This is an aircraft bolt. See how clean my hole is. It's pretty snug. Pretty snug fit for that fastener. Now one other thing I want to mention real quick, obviously if you have some kind of a curved part, this is a flat plate, but if you have a curved part, then this isn't going to work not quite as well for keeping your drill bit perpendicular to the surface. You can clamp this down, however, it's going to be harder to keep that perpendicular to the surface and get your drill bit going in exactly the direction you want it to go. And so really if you have a curved surface, the best thing for you to do is going to be to make a custom drill jig that matches that surface. Basically imagine something like this where you've carved out the underside to match the surface that you're sticking it onto, and then use some kind of a jig to make sure it goes in exactly the same place every time if you're making a whole bunch of these. In fact, if you're making hundreds of parts of the same thing, it's probably worth your while to make some drill jigs for like that anyway, even if it is a flat plate, so that you can make sure that you're drilling the holes in the exact same place every single time. It'll index somewhere on the part to some known feature, and then it'll stay there. You clamp it down and you can drill all of your holes from there with one jig, take it all off and keep moving. But if you're making just a few parts or a one-off part where you got some holes that you got to drill, a simple drill bar like this works really, really well. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I hope that it answered some of your questions. If you have any more questions about drilling holes or any ideas, things that have worked well for you that you'd like to share, throw them down in the comment section. And if this video has been helpful and you like this, I encourage you to check out some of my other content, including I have a free beginner's guide to composites. There's a link down in the description. You can click on that, go straight there and get that. And I have a new free course that I've added on there, which is making money with carbon fiber. I share some of my story about how I started making carbon fiber parts to sell, how it brought some extra income in during a very critical time in my life. I was kind of a poor college student, and how I was able to sell several $1,000s in merchandise, carbon fiber merchandise. I share some of the tips and tricks that I learned along the way. So check that out if it's interesting to you, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you so much for being here.